Greetings, my fellow Dookie consumers, and welcome back to Rank Everything, the show where we rank everything. I'm your host, Ryan, and today, in this video, at this current moment, we are going to be ranking Sly Cooper characters based on who has the best chance of winning the U.S. presidential election. So, as usual, let's go over our tiers. So, the first one we have here is could not raise funding. This is somebody who is just too broke to even have a chance to be able to run for the election. Then we have is not allowed to run. This is a person who we're not taking into account like criminal acts for this election. So, this is somebody who, for other reasons, is not going to be allowed to run. It's really just how I feel about them. And this is where the freaks are going to be. This one is will not win. This is somebody who can run and is able to raise funding to run, but they have no chance of winning. Next up, we have people who have a chance. People who have like a little bit of a chance, but they have to get really lucky if they want to. Then we have people who ran a good campaign, like people who did great, had a great chance, but whoever, somebody else just beat them out. And we have El Presidente up here at the top. These are people who... This is the people or person who will win the election if they decide to run. So, let's get started. First, we have Cao. That's what his name was. He's a general. He's messing around with like the mystic arts up in the mountains. He does a lot of kidnapping. Guy's loaded. Guy is so rich, but he's got this mega dictator thing going on. So I'm gonna say that he can run a good campaign. Like, he's already a general. He's already knows how to give motivational speeches. He's completely loaded and all that stuff. That thing. The Contessa. She's a criminal, which we didn't know when we first met her, but she's Interpol's #1 warden. Spider Lady, Black Widow. It's believed that she killed her husband to get his fortune, so she's a gold digger at the same time. So she's loaded as well. Completely loaded. Very domineering woman, but she's also famous for a psycho treatment and torturing people. So for that reason, I mean, that's pretty freaky. She's also a spider. She's not going to be allowed to run. Sorry. Next, we have Arpeggio. Arpeggio is a total genius, but he's a super tiny bird. So because of that reason, let's see. It's okay. So let's go back. He's a genius. He invents things and sells them. He's also loaded. Once again, loaded. And so, because of that reason, he can run. He's a genius, but he's also evil because he's obsessed with trying to. He's really selfish because the entire point of the second game is that they want to gather up all the clockwork parts to form a new body for Arpeggio to put his mind into. And then I don't remember what his plan was after that because something else happens that we'll get to later. I'm going to say that Arpeggio could also run a good campaign. Next, we have Bentley. Bentley is, he's one of the main characters, one of the main, he's Sly's best friend. He's the brains of the operation. So they're world-famous master thieves who are very successful. So they're definitely loaded. They definitely have the money for it. Let's see. Bentley's also a genius, but he's not a psycho genius. He's literally he really does like care about others, and it is a selfish thing because he's technically a master thief and stuff like that. But Bentley's also in a wheelchair. So I don't know how the American people are going to feel about voting for a guy who... I don't know how the American people are going to feel about voting for a guy who's in a wheelchair. So maybe that's a knock against him. Yeah, maybe that's a knock against him. Let's see. Because of that reason... I think Bentley could also run a great campaign, but I think because of the wheelchair, they're not gonna vote for him in the end. Clockwork is technically dead, And so for that reason, I'm going to say that he cannot raise funding. We have I don't remember what this guy's name is. His name's like Sully McGee or something, but he's a walrus who used to run around with Sly's father's thief gang back in the day. And he's the guy who tells Sly about the vault on the island and all that. He's in prison right now when we know him, so I'm going to say that he is not allowed to run for that reason. El Jefe, the tiger guy from the fourth game, another famous general, master tactician, definitely loaded from all the mercenary work that he's done. I'm going to say that he's really hot-tempered and that kind of thing. I'm going to say he has a chance. Raleigh the Frog from the first game, another techno-whiz, absolute genius. He was born into a life of luxury, so he was born loaded. But he got even more loaded after he joined the Fiendish Five. But he's a super egotistical guy who would not make a good president. I'm going to say that but because of that, I'm going to say that he could run a good campaign. Clockla, which is what was invented after Neela merged with Clockwork's body and created Clockla, which is the final boss of the second game. Her entire thing is that she just wants to take over the entire world or something, which is a really shallow, stupid thing to want out of a main villain. Good twist boss, though. See. I'm going to say that she can run, but she will not win. The Mask of Dark Earth cannot raise funding. Sorry. Doc Octavian. So he was already a famous opera singer, but he joined the Mafia so that he could put opera back on the main stage. So I'm going to say that he's probably loaded because of that. He's probably loaded because of that. He's got people on the inside of the mob who would probably help ensure that he wins. This is like some 1920s level shit right here, where he's got he's got people watching. I mean, I don't know. He's got people watching over the voters' shoulders, making sure they pick the right one every time. So I'm gonna say that he has a chance. Murray, the muscle of Sly's gang, super lovable, really big, dopey character. He's part of the gang, so he definitely has the money for it. Murray is motivational, but not in the normal way. He's just the big, blubbering, really muscular, stupid guy. But he's super lovable because he loves his friends and everything like that. I'm going to say that Murray can run a good campaign. If he puts a good team around him, he could absolutely run a good campaign. Tennessee Kid Cooper, one of Sly's ancestors from the Old West, he's definitely loaded. But, he doesn't really seem like he's the kind of guy who would be up for giving speeches and, necessarily wanting to win the presidency. I'm going to say that he has a chance. The Black Baron from the third game. So this guy, he runs his own dogfighting tournament in Switzerland or something. Definitely has the money to run. Let's see. He has an entire fleet of airships and fighter planes at his disposal. I'm going to say that he can run, but that he will not win. Next, we have Dr. M, which, don't quote me on this, but I think the M stands for monkey because he's a monkey. Dr. Monkey. Okay, right, we're fast. Main villain of the third game. He's the guy trying to get into the Cooper Vault. He was a part of Sly's dad's crew back in the day. He was the brains, but he was really bitter because he felt like he got left in the shadows or something like that. McSweeney. That's what this guy's name is. McSweeney. Yeah, he's the main villain of the third game. He tries to like turn Bentley over to the dark side, basically, which is a really asshole thing to do. I'm gonna say that he definitely has the money. Guy turns the island into a fortress with the money as I was trying to get inside the Cooper vault to steal the rest of the fortune that's inside. Let's see. He's too much of a dictator. Like, he does some really bad things in that game. I'm gonna say that he can run, but that he will not win. Penelope is a girl, and I don't know. It might be getting a little bit too political. I don't know how. I do not know if Penelope would win just because of the fact that she's a woman. She's a genius. She definitely has the money for it. I'm gonna say she has a chance. The French skunk guy, who's the main villain of the fourth game. I don't remember his name. His name's like Pierre or something. I don't know, some regular placeholder French name. Definitely has the money. He's the guy who goes through time to try and ruin Sly's family legacy by getting rid of all of their most famous heists to like ruin their name. Let's see. He definitely has the money. But thanks to the whole time thing and the fact that he's a skunk and he smells, I'm gonna say he's not allowed to run. Dimitri, another fan favorite character, villain turned friend. I'm gonna say that I know he has the money. He runs a successful fascist business, art business, and fashion business and art business, and a successful nightclub. He's a good friend of Sly and the gang. He had a big money laundering business for a while, but we're going to ignore that. Dimitri, I feel like he'd be really good at giving those motivational speeches because he just does, he just says stuff that doesn't make any sense, but somehow you understand at the same time. I'm going to say he has a chance. The Panda King, so the Panda King is another fan favorite character, villain turned friend in the third game. Let's see. I feel like Panda King could give a really good motivational speech. I feel like he definitely has the money with him being a former criminal and all, and him, he settles down in China with his daughter and shit. I'm gonna say he will not win. I don't think the Panda King would win. I don't think. Yeah, the Black Knight from the fourth game, which the Black Knight. No, I won't spoil it for everyone. But see, the Black Knight has an entire army of other knights at their disposal, so they definitely have the money to make those, which means they definitely have the money to run for the presidential election. I think that the Black Knight has a chance. Like, if they're the Black Knight, then, they have this entire army that works under them. They could probably give pretty good speeches. Definitely has the money. Here we go. Sly Cooper himself. Sly, I feel like Sly would not even want to be the president. I feel like it's just the kind of thing he wouldn't necessarily feel like he has like the time for or the desire to do it. He definitely has the money. I know Sly could give a good speech when he wants to. He's done it in the other games, I'm pretty sure. For that reason, Sly could run a good campaign, but I just don't think he actually wants to be president. Jean Bison, or John Bison, as his name's actually spelled, French-Canadian dude, he's not allowed to run. I'm putting my foot down. Pepe Le Pew, or whatever this guy's name is, Pirate Bird, definitely has the money because he is a pirate and he plunders ships and all that stuff. Has an entire crew that works under him. Let's see. But he's like this guy's evil. This guy does bad things and doesn't care. He's not allowed to run. Bob, who's Sly's caveman ancestor, cannot raise funding. I'm sorry, Bob. The armadillo guy, I'm trying to think of his name. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point. Toothpick, that's his name is. Toothpick here. He definitely has the money. I don't think he'd be very good at giving speeches. He's a little bit too much of a dictator, so I'm going to say that he will not win. Elephant Lady, I don't remember who she is. I do remember her powers and that she's British. So it's funny. Her whole thing is that she had a musical instrument stuck inside of her trunk when she was a kid, and that has somehow allowed her to play melodies that instantly put people to sleep. It's really good for crime. So I'm sure she could give a rousing speech. She definitely has the money, but I'm going to say that she will not win. Ms. Ruby, she definitely has the money. I can see her giving a pretty good speech that would probably... I can definitely see her giving a pretty good speech that would probably be able to rouse the people to try to vote for her, but I think that she's a little bit too off-putting as a person. I'm going to say she will not win. Mugshot. I love Mugshot. she's such a funny character. His whole thing is that he's so muscular, he walks on his arms like a fucking gorilla. He's always smoking, he's always chomping on a cigar. He ran an entire crime syndicate. City definitely has the money. Could give a speech if you asked him to, even though he's a bit of a meathead. I'm going to say that Mugshot can run a good campaign. Neela was a member of Interpol. Remember Neela? So we thought she was a good guy, but then she sort of betrays us. But then she betrays everyone again and fuses with Clockwork's body, becomes Clockla. Super evil character. I mean, definitely has the money. She absolutely could give a killer speech. She could run a great campaign. I know she could. Here's Sly's medieval ancestor. That's what I was thinking. He's a knight, so he probably makes pretty great money, but I don't think he could afford what it would take to run a presidential campaign, so I'm going to say no. Rajan from the second game. So he's the Lord of the Hills, a spice overlord, drug lord, that kind of thing. So he definitely has the money. I think he could give a speech. He likes to hold big, lavish parties where he's like the center of attention. I'm going to say he could run a good campaign. Ryoichi Cooper, Sly's Japanese ancestor, the guy who's the canonical inventor of sushi. Doesn't say much because he's like a ninja. He doesn't have much to say. I think that Ryoichi, like I said, he runs a successful sushi business while also doing his thievery on the side, which means he probably makes pretty damn good money. I'm going to say that I think he could give a good speech. I'm going to say he has a chance. The guru does not talk, and because of that reason, he's not allowed to run. Oh, here we go. Here's the big one. Carmelita Montoya Fox. I mean, let's think about it. Carmelita is probably the most famous, successful member of Interpol because of Sly, because she always catches these world-famous criminals because of Sly takes them down first. So I bet she makes ass loads. I bet she's so popular, she's so famous, she makes ass loads, that kind of thing. And I 1,000,000%. I mean, yeah. Carmelita is our El Presidente of this list. The Grizz is the guy that goes back to prehistoric times. He's like he makes this art that he was really famous for a while, so he probably has pretty good money. I'm sure he could give a speech, but I'm going to say that he will not win. And we have Salim al-Kubar, Sly's Arabian ancestor, who he's like the leader of the 40 Thieves and that sort of stuff. Hold on. Sipping my Wawa. He's the leader of the 40 Thieves. He really has nothing really interesting about him beyond that. I'm going to say that he will not win. All right, here you have it. This is our list of which Sly Cooper characters would win the presidential election. If you all enjoyed this video, please smash that subscribe button. It really helps us out. Please leave a comment down below on what ranking you want to see next after this one. And please, for fuck's sake, hit that like button and share this video with your friends so that the channel can grow and we continue making content like this.